Receiving incoming transmission.
Hello everyone and welcome to my world. I am, of course, Fred Kasdan. Let's talk about Chris Benoit. Why? Because for the first time in a long time, I sat down and watched this. The one WWE DVD documentary that you won't find on the WWE Network. As far as I know, I don't think it's been added, and I haven't subscribed to the WWE Network since WrestleMania of earlier this year. That will be WrestleMania of 2019. And this still wasn't added. HardKnocks, the Chris Benoit story. Well, why isn't this on the network while all of his matches and everything else that he has done that the WWE owns the footage of, particularly his WCW and ECW stuff and any other promotions that he may have worked in that the company secured the footage from. Why isn't this on there? Well, I think it's pretty obvious considering the tragic end to not just only his life, but the life of his wife, Nancy, and their child. And I'm not going to get into that. But what prompted me to sit down and watch this today? Well, as I said, I know for a fact it's not on the network, as far as I know, and it's been on my shelf for a few years. I did buy this when it first came out, and I remember watching it, and it had some great matches on the extras and stuff of that nature. But just to go back and watch it, and just to see if you get like that perspective on it. And there are a few things that definitely stood out to me while watching it. Perhaps, oddly enough, is how disjointed it feels when you go through the first several chapters on HardKnocks, where he's like the early life, Benoit's early life, going to Calgary, being trained by the Hearts, going to Japan, ECW, and then WCW. Everything really up to it kind of has a nice uniform look to it. You got Benoit sitting in the seats, I'm guessing at an arena up in Edmonton. I'm guessing that, which I'm assuming which was filmed after WrestleMania 20 when he won the triple threat match. And it does have a nice sense of uniformity. And you get the feeling that, yes, they are telling the story. Where this documentary falls apart is basically as soon as the start of his WWE career in January of 2000 begins, because it opens up with that point. Benoit's no longer sitting in the seats of some arena. It basically looks like it's footage taken from WWE Confidential, which was a Saturday night program, which would do kind of like mini documentaries to recap certain stuff. And for me, that felt very disjointed because Benoit didn't quite look the same. And maybe it's because of the camera angle and whatnot, the lighting. But it comes across as a bit cheap. and even more so considering that a good portion of everything that glamorizes what he did during his WWE career up until WrestleMania 20 features a lot of the extended, overproduced hype packages. The hype package of that was that I believe aired before Fully Loaded 2000 when he was going to face The Rock was basically showed in its entirety, and I think they actually added stuff to that. Same thing for everything leading up to the promo package heading that was for his match at the 2003 Royal Rumble against Kurt Angle was basically shown its entirety, and as well as the promo package for everything associated with uh, him heading into the 2004 Royal Rumble, and then of course WrestleMania 20 is like, wow, they couldn't do anything else more with that, which is really disappointing. It's close to a 90-minute runtime. Actually, not even 90 minutes. It's more like an hour and 20. Shaving off 3 minutes for like a music video at the end. That is pretty well done. But the WWE side just feels so cheaply done in comparison to the first half of the documentary. It's really funny. Like, you got in the first half, you got all these interviews and stuff like that. You got actual stories of everything leading up until WCW, and then after it is like, nah, we'll shit on WCW for a bit because that's what WWE likes to do, even to this day. And then glamorize all the stuff, some of the stuff he did during his WWE tenure. And it's like, it really comes across badly, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, how many more documentaries that the WWE did that I have in my DVD collection, because I'm not going to resub to the network, come across that way, where there is that disjointed feeling, and where it comes across as being cheaply made. Now, that said, the B-rolls, stuff that's not interviews with Benoit's family and this one friend, the matches and stuff and clips of his career are really well done. There's a nice selection of stuff there, and the extras on this is pretty nice. Matter of fact, let's see, because we still got it. This was a 2-disc set. So on the extras, you got Pegasus Kid versus Jushin Liger from 1990. Benoit versus Too Cold Scorpio from Super Brawl 93. Benoit versus Black Tiger, a.k.a. Eddie Guerrero in Japan in 1994. Benoit versus Great Sasuke, also 94. Benoit versus Sabu. Benoit versus Al Snow, pre-Beard. And then you got Benoit versus Guerrero 95 from Nitro. Benoit versus Kevin Sullivan. Benoit versus Booker T, which was match 7 of their best of 7. Benoit versus Bret Hart, which was the Owen tribute match. Benoit versus Sid Vicious, the last match he had in WCW. Benoit versus Regal, the Brian Pillman show tribute show match in 2000. Benoit versus Angle, the Steel Cage match in 01. Benoit versus Angle, the 03 Rumble, and then the main event of WrestleMania 20, Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. Again, most of these will be on the network. The only stuff that's actually on this set, that's not on the network, would be the matches in Japan. So, and of course you get stuff regarding the next injury. You got some other extras here for like a magazine shoot in 04 and something from WWE Confidential, which I'm believing that's where most of the second half. No, when it was a crossface collection. So in terms of extras and having a match selection, not a bad list. Did you really need 2 Kurt Angle matches? Probably not. There is certainly more of his WCW stuff on here than his WWE stuff, which is actually quite funny when you really think about it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 WCW matches and 1, 2, 3 WWE matches. Of course, at this point, WWE is putting out DVDs and stuff like that. And so they were expecting the fans to be buying all the DVDs and so forth. So can't fault them for that. Now, if I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it like a 6. I really would have liked this. The extras are fine, but again, those are just extras. The disjointed nature and difference in tone between the first half of the documentary and the second half of the documentary is really there, and it really comes through when one of the last things you see on Benoit on this disc before the music video is him back in that arena. So it's like, okay, they cut corners and where they could on this. Now, in terms of recommending it, I wouldn't recommend one goes out to seek it. It's really nothing special, but it is what it is. But if you are a collector of wrestling DVDs, yeah, you probably can find it cheap. I really doubt people are auctioning these things off here in 2019. Again, considering how what he did at the very end of his life. Anyway, that will wrap this up here. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell for notifications, and so forth. And I'll see how long it takes me to actually come up with something else to talk about or review. Till then, have a good one, everybody.
Commander, nice work out there.